How's it going, team? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Jacks podcast, where we dive deep into the stories of real life achievers, bringing you insight that inspire and motivate. I'm your host, Jack McKeon, and today we've got an exciting guest joining us. We're sitting down with David Morris, a business owner, boxer, and founder of Boxing for Better. David's journey through sport has been nothing short of inspiring. From feeling like an outsider to his transition into an amateur boxer and the career that followed with that, to launching a community-focused organisation aimed at making a difference through the power of boxing. In this episode, we explore David's personal relationship with sport, the stigmas he's faced in the world of performance, and how he's channeled those experiences into goals and aspirations for Boxing for Better. We also discuss the importance of work-life balance, self-reflection, hard work, and in the ambition in both his personal and professional life. You can follow and support David's mission over at Boxing for Better on all social media platforms and learn more about the great work that they've been doing by visiting www.boxingforbetter.co.uk. They'll be down below in the description. But before we dive in, as always, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Viribus Strength. If you're looking for high quality fitness gear, be sure to check them out at www.viribusstrength.co.uk and don't forget to use the code AverageJack for 20% off at checkout. Again, that'll be down below in the description. And down below in the description, you can always find more content, more updates about everything that we're doing over at Average Jacks and myself at www.jackmckeown.co.uk. Now, without further ado, let's get into this powerful conversation with David Morris. Peace.
I think the best place to start is always the beginning. What brought you to it, sort of your background, what you was like as a kid, teenager, that sort of made you create Boxing for Better, which we'll get into, obviously, but the start, what was it like?
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know me, I know Jack Phillips. If you don't know me, my cousin, long-time friend as well. So my name's Dave. I am the founder of Boxing for Better, but that's what I do now. I suppose to answer your question, we're going to go right back to the beginning, sort of what led us to this point. I suppose as a person, I've always sort of been a bit older than outside knowledge. So going up through school, never the most confident, sort of had not a victim mentality as such, where like a lent on it. I think these days you see a lot of people who kind of were in victim mentality to some degree, because it's an easier way of sort of resolving problems. But I think I always did feel like it was a little bit of easy to be put onto. So with that came a little bit of low confidence. I was never fantastic at sport. Like, I'm actually quite bad at sport as a young kid. Unhealthy, unfit, not very confident. And through time, so I did feel a little bit bullied. Really looking back, it wasn't. It was more me just being low confidence. So I tried lots of different things. My parents were very supportive, got me involved in lots of different things. And then eventually I found boxing. And as went the pattern, I was used to that for the first sort of 2 years, from like age 9 to age 11. Maybe a little bit less. I wasn't any good. Couldn't do the jogs. Somebody used to have to like come back to me halfway through, so I couldn't join in the session. Just couldn't take it. And I didn't particularly enjoy it. I just went to some of my dad's friends, set the boxing club up. And it was just something to try. So I went. And then a sort of a change of mindset happened. It was the millennium year. I remember going with my dad, he was having a party. After I was going to Spitting Feathers, or Who's the Booze, it was being called the whole thing. An off licence, essentially, to stop going to the party. And we were just talking about what your New Year's resolution was going to be. And I said, I'm going to go back boxing this time, I'm going to do it properly. I've got all buzzing. I probably didn't 100% believe it. You know, the other one, it was not exactly sure the dates, how old I was in millennium, but I was about 11-ish. And it was like, oh, brilliant. And then I got back into it and I just did well. I was good. You know, I got fit, got healthy. Our other cousin, Rob, used to train. He was a bit older, so he was a bit more advanced physically, so he was competing a bit earlier than me. And he was a good runner. which is one of the main things. And he said to me once, I asked him, how do you get good at running? And he said, I just run everywhere. Like, I go to shop and run.
Yeah.
And go into my grandma's and run. So I took that advice on. And that was the thing that really got me fit. Once you're fit, then you can do anything, really. You can apply yourself to anything. So my boxing really came on, and I got very good. Always fell short at that very top level, but I got very good very quickly, and I became sort of the one that people looked up to in the boxing club. So that then started put me in good stead. I think it raised my self-esteem, my self-confidence. I was obviously fitter and healthier. It made me feel a little bit better about myself. I don't think I really realised that until like you have to be professional like this now and look back at it. So that's sort of how I became into boxing, got good at it, and ended up having 35 fights and boxing some really good boxers who went on to do some great stuff, and always doing well against people. I never got battered, never got outclassed, got beat comfortably like 1 or 2 times, but never got like hurt or anything. I was always safe and good, and kept myself in a fight, and had some really good wins. So that was the sort of boxing. That's the way I evolved as a boxer. And I think that sort of gave me the belief that if you just push and work hard, and apply yourself, get fit, you get yourself in the correct shape to do something, you can do whatever you want to do. So that was that. And then in terms of like my principles, where I am now, what sort of made me to, because oddly enough, even though I was a boxer and I've set up boxing better, we don't live a boxing in a typical way. We're very much about inclusion, and our focus is on developing people rather than boxers. We're very much a holistic focused group rather than elitist or performance focused. And I think that came from school and my experience in PE. So as I alluded to earlier, I was rubbish at sport. And I still really was, even though I got good at boxing. Like, I wasn't very good at football.
Yeah.
Weren't over coordinated at football, but I really was at boxing. So it came to GCSE time, picking our options. I remember looking at everything we had to pick, and we had like blocks that we could pick from. So I went to pick PE, and the head of PE at the time went, "You're not doing PE." It was like, it was a free choice. Yeah, and pick what you want because that's your choice. So I don't want you doing PE. And I knew what to get. I wasn't any good, so I wasn't going to get the grades that he wanted me to get. And on reflection, a bit daft really, because it was weighted in the way that there was coursework and there was exams, and so I chose PE anyway because I wanted to, and I got an A in it because I applied myself and because I could do the coursework, because I understood sports and understood performance. I just wasn't necessarily a talented performer, and it really hurt me because I thought to myself, there's so much more to sport than just performance, yeah. So like, even like what you're doing now, giving people a platform to talk about it, there's journalism, there's sports science, there's coaching, there's everything. And in PE at school, it very much focused on performance, and who was good, and who played for the team, and who was the best footballer, who was the captain, and that was never going to be me in the years. But nonetheless, I got an A in it. So I think I proved the point to myself that the sport's not just about performance, and that's always in my ethos now. So fast forward a little bit. I went to college, took PE again. I got a B at college. Then I went to university and did PE and school sports because I decided I want to be a PE teacher at this point. Yeah. Probably just to piss off that PE teacher.
I was just going to ask that. Was that like sort of hanging over you a little bit just to prove the point?
A little bit, yeah. I don't think I was that way inclined. I was never really nasty or malicious enough, but I think when you dig deep a little bit, just felt like, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
How dare you tell somebody you're not doing this because you're not good, or you're going to affect my grades? Like, your job's to make me good enough, or to support me to be good enough, not to sort of push me away.
Yeah. That's funny that you talk about that, of sort of saying, you went on to teaching and doing that. And the motivation was probably, not putting words in your mouth, but the motivation was probably the low sort of bar that you set, saying, oh, well, you're not like this, you're not like this, and you're like that, well, fuck it, I'm going to prove you wrong and deliver it how I think it should be delivered.
Exactly. And it's quite funny because I'm skipping a few stages now, so you have to sort of bear with me, but I now go in schools and teach PE. I'm a PE graduate, I did it at university, so now I go in schools, not part of my business, I go in schools and teach PE. I'm dead open about my ethos. My job when I'm in school, because a lot of schools we get an hour a week.
Yeah.
Some you should have two, but a lot of them give you an hour. That's only 45 minutes by the time they've got in and sat down and listened. I'm not going to create the next Andy Murray or your next Jack Grealish. It's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, I'm lucky if I can get into the P kit sometimes, particularly some of the schools that I work in, the areas that I focus on. So my whole sort of ethos with PE is engagement, fun, forming what I hope will be lifelong habits, positive habits, so that, all right, they might not be the best performer, but they'll always be doing something, they'll always stay active. Some schools love that. Some schools turn the nose, we go, well, we want to win trophies, we want to have the best team. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but I'm the culture. And I very much believe that there is a place for everyone in sport, and everyone should be able to enjoy sport, even if you're not the best.
Yeah. Because sort of like my job that I'm now in this is sort of I deliver a recreational sport program at a university where it is essentially you can have your elite performers, you can have your scholarship students, and we have national representatives come and partake in the program, and then we have people who've never done it before.
Yeah.
And the impact of when we do our surveys, it's not always listening. Some people, have the crosses to bear and, give us feedback or don't particularly like it because of these things that we do. But what it provides, that social element and that just, releasing them endorphins, just getting out and not. We live in a generation where, I'm definitely guilty of doing it, where like behind screen time's important, you're on your phones and stuff, and from working in higher education, the change of seeing students and then you're always going to have predominantly the catchment of 18 to 21 when you're dealing with higher education.
Yeah.
You obviously get mature students, but they are more and more becoming less capable, less active. They rely on their parents a lot more. I'm not saying that I didn't get it easy because
No.
I really did.
You've always been somebody who's done stuff for yourself, haven't you? You've always, that's probably why you're doing stuff like this.
Yeah, and what you see in people is sort of, they get that chance to do something for themselves, and they then snowball. Then people who've never partaken in sport then become volunteers, and then they do groups that you want to do. So I think it's super refreshing to sort of hear that, you're going in and delivering that ethos. And I was going to ask you about schools pushing back on that ethos.
Yeah, well, I mean, the two things that we do, obviously we go in and coach boxing. And again, it just depends on the perspective of the head teacher. Some absolutely lap it up and love it and just they see it what it is.
Yeah.
Boxing. And we'll probably lead on to what our boxing session is looking and feel like and why they're beneficial in a little bit. And then obviously the ethos with the sports, like I'm not there to create. There's enough Jack Grealishes. Well, there's not. There's only one Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
We are not short of elite performers in this country.
No.
What we've got a lot of is unhealthy, overweight, pre-diabetic, people who are scared to get involved in sport and activity.
And there's an expectation to be
the
next.
And probably with social media and external pressures, and I think particularly once you get past higher education level, if you've not infused yourself with sport or someone's not infused you with sport and activity and taking part in this activity, get past sort of 21, 22. Where's that gateway to get into it? And then the danger of that is you just become more and more unhealthy and more inactive. Like, what? Once you're an adult, you've got children, you've got a job, you've got a house to look after. Time for recreation is dwindling.
Yeah.
Easy recreation is a drink for whenever you mates. It's not active. It's not. It's not positive for you. Needed sometimes. Psychologically, it's a little bit of a blowout.
Yeah.
But working your body is essential. It always has been essential, and yet it's sort of pushed down. And I just think we have enough spaces now in England, enough really good performance-focused boxing clubs and football clubs, and I actually think they're catching on a little bit now to what we're talking about. But I wanted to give the fat, unconfident David Morrises, like those that were told that you can't do because you're no good, and those that were last to be picked and played football and playground, and those that for the first 2 years of boxing had to be walked back to the gym because they couldn't complete the run. And it was very easy for me to go, sack this, I'll just watch telly, I'll just go and hang out on the street, or we were lucky we didn't really have mobile phones then, but I'll just get glued to the screen.
Yeah.
And I see now what we're doing with boxing for better. We're really harnessing all those people that probably have those same insecurities and fears and barriers towards getting involved in sport because there's no performance. There's no. It's just coming off full enjoyment. We'll teach you stuff. We'll have high expectations. We'll develop you skill-wise, but you can come and be awful, like, for want of a better word, and never progress and still be welcomed.
And they'll build that relationship then with the positive feelings, the sort of the benefits of health, well-being, and they'll be like, I don't need to be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I can just go and enjoy myself. And I think something that I can resonate with a lot of what you said, especially through PE in school, is like, again, I'm probably an average sports person. When I was younger, I wasn't really, I was similar. I liked rugby, played rugby, but I was shit at football.
Yeah.
I enjoyed boxing, but I never had the bite. I never had the bite. I never had the aggression in me to do it. I couldn't harness it until I got older, and that's probably because I had a nice upbringing and a nice life. I had good friends. I didn't have anything to sort of fuel that fire. But I went on a tangent then. But yeah, it's important for people to sort of realise that sport doesn't need expectations.
No.
Fitness doesn't need expectations. It's your journey. And I'm a big fan of Robin Sharma, and something he sort of says constantly is run your own race.
Yeah. Listen, I genuinely believe, I'm not. Listen, I watched Keely Hopkinson the other day.
Yeah.
I was absolutely buzzing for her.
Yeah.
Boxing and pits. I love it. I'm not against elite sport. I'm not against sport. I think it's amazing. When watching Wigan and Saints the other day, sport the best football team in the world. Debatable. I love elite performance, and I'm buzzing when we see somebody come through the door who can box and's got it and it's natural. I absolutely love it. I thrive off it. And sometimes I miss it. I miss doing a proper round of parks, and I miss getting kids ready for boxing shows. But I realise if somebody, maybe other people like you, don't provide that area for those that are never going to compete, then they're going to miss out and they're not going to be healthy and active, and that's it's necessary. So no, that's why we do what we do. But there are lots of different things that's led me to getting to that point. It's sort of there's loads of elements that have formed this ethos. So the PE teacher is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of myself and the sort of clientele that we work with, we specifically focus on groups in terms of boxing for better. And I say boxing for better specifically focuses on anybody that would normally find it challenging to get involved in positive physical activity. So any barriers to get involved, we try and break down. So we started initially providing free boxing sessions, and we called it like doorstep exercise. So we took it to the places where we know or knew needed it.
Yeah.
So some of the places that we do it's High Halls, Platbridge, Norley Hall, and it's no slight to those areas. There's some amazing people and some really good things going on. But if you look at statistics, poverty, health inequalities, educational attainment, crime, they're all the lower ends of those statistics, and it's not great for social mobility. And there's a lot of factors that affect that, but we realise that a lot of those people aren't going out into the town centre to go to the boxing club or to go to the football club, whether it's because parents won't take them or can't take them, whether they've not got the money to get there, whether there's not the aspiration to do it, whether it's just because, it's just not the done thing, they don't know. So we take it to the places that our coaches go, we take our equipment, and it's thrive. That in particular really, really thrive when we get about 30 young people attend our sessions, and it's free. But it's no paying what you like. It's essentially still free. If you can't afford it, that's not a reason not to come, because you just turn up and join.
It's channeling the energy though, isn't it? Because, you mentioned all them stats that, and a lot of them are probably through not having opportunities like what you're providing, and having the energy and, wanting to do something and get that buzz. I think there is a buzz about sport. Obviously it releases the chemicals in your brain, and, when, especially things with boxing and anything like that, where there's a high level of skill involved. When you get your first combo on the pads and you hit it right, it's near it,
Snap.
feel it.
You see your coach smiling, and you see the eyes light up on the box, and it's the really good moments. And we work with some. So one of our sessions that we do, I've still not fully answered your first question, but I'm sure it'll fit in. One of our sessions we do work with adults who are on probation. So I can completely understand your outsider's view why our adults who've been to jail being given opportunities to go and get involved in positive when there's all these other things going on.
Yeah.
But I see some of these adults and yes, they've made some bad choices, and yes, they've got themselves in situations that are less favourable, and yes, you know, they've not necessarily always contributed to society in the way that we want them to. Also had a lot of shit to contend with. Like, a lot of them have been a result of really toxic family lives, or abuse, or addiction problems, which, you know, everyone will have their own opinion on, but it's a problem. If you're an addict, it is hard to break that cycle. And those are not the deciding factors, but determining factors of why they come down the path. And there's always willpower, you know, choice. But who's to say who can, I still have that extra chocolate bar when, you know, when I know sugar.
Yeah.
So we work with these, I've been coming in, and I can imagine, I'm putting words into the mind, but I can imagine some of these people at work have never been told a nice thing in their life.
No.
They've never been told well done or brilliant, or because they probably didn't do fantastic school.
Yeah.
And got labelled as a naughty kid, and mum and dad might not have been present as much as they could do. This is the case for all of some. And you take on the pants, and you've got to have 2 minutes in front of them, and you say, chap, I can't want to. And they throw in it, and you just give them that little bit of information, and they're improving each time. Oh, brilliant, fucking great, that.
Yeah,
Well done, keep it going. And you can just see something light up inside of them. So it's transformational boxing. Sport is everything. I'm biased. I'm a boxing coach, but it has this unique power that I think certain other sports don't have, in that there's a kudos attached to it. So it really sort of, it likes to play under a certain hard to reach person.
Yeah.
I love badminton. I love hockey. I love Cubs, Scouts, and Beavers.
Yeah.
But a kid who's going to committing crime isn't being enthused by badminton.
No.
His mate signed to turn and give him a free pass and said, no, not tonight, I think we're playing badminton.
Yeah.
Whereas you say you're going boxing or UFC or Muay Thai or whatever, and there's that kudos.
Yeah.
So they come to the gym, they get a free pass, they're still being seen as, they're retaining street cred.
Yeah.
But then they're in a positive environment, and they're learning skills, and they're experiencing things that they've never had an opportunity to experience before, because here it's supportive.
Yeah.
We value them. They're not labelled by the fans committed or the choices they made. It's just about them turning up and enjoying it. And you can really see them switch. Even if it's just that hour in the middles.
Yeah.
And it's dead powerful.
Yeah.
And we have the same with disability boxing. And they're amazing. And when you look at the group of people, you can understand why people they can't.
Yeah.
And that's the barrier they've had to battle all life, because people see disability.
And they begin to believe it when.
Absolutely.
The same with the people who I imagine, you know, have that criminal background and that title attached to it. You are a product of your environment.
Well, it comes that negative feedback. You get told you can't do it, so you think you can't do it, so you don't do it. And that becomes, and for someone to create a cycle, and again, I'm not saying we go out a cycle, just offering a provision that can support them to create a cycle. They come down and they buzz it. We've had stories, anecdotal stories, again, not everyone. There's, it's some people love it, some people it's not their cup of tea. But that story of adults who just never ever engage in any sport or physical exercise because they're either nervous or they can't bother, or they've never found the right thing, or they've never had the right person to push them, and they buzz off it. They love it. It's their thing. They're asking for boxing gloves for their birthday, and they're turning up with their own stuff, and they're buying a t-shirt off us and a hoodie, and they're asking can we do more sessions. And it's really, really good. It's dead powerful the change that we're seeing among some of the hardest to reach groups in society. And it's,
And I think you mentioned it before about boxing having a certain sort of grandiose towards it, and I completely agree. It's sort of with my own coaching and things like that. Like I've done pads with people, and 9 times out of 10, you get someone on pads, they go well. You teach them sort of basics and the foundations, and it's always something they go back to. Always like, can I do that again? Can we do that again? Why do you think that is?
I think it's fun. I think there's an element of so I'm the first to say I'm not the biggest gym goer. I'm doing exercise and going to class and doing competitive sport or for a jog. I think sometimes when you go to the gym, lifting your weights, in your treadmill, you're not engaging the brain as well. Whereas I've been taught on two-step backhand, two-step backhand hook. There's your brain's working. Yeah. Sometimes your brain's working too fast for your body, and you've got to try and get insane. It's kind of exciting, like cat and mouse for your body and your brain. I think that's definitely an element of it. I think there's that triangle hurt as well. Definitely men, probably females as well. I've got no science to say either way. everyone's wanted. I think deep down everyone goes, "I can do that."
Yeah. It's fucking cool as well, isn't it?
Can take it.
Yeah.
I get some goals once. You know, I'm not that encouraging that side of it, but it exists. We've all got that primal like,
Yeah.
I can do that. So when they come and they do it, and then there's levels to it too. Like I'm probably being a bit naive or a bit ignorant here, but I reckon when you play football, you go and play, and when you get to a certain point in life, you've found your level, and you play with your group mates, it becomes recreational, and you sort of. I don't think anybody, once you get past a certain point, really wants to learn or be coached, unless you're playing elite level. But if you're just going and doing it for a bit of fitness or a bit of fun, you're happy just to do what you do at. And your particular skill set, so you might be really fast, so you might be a good ball player or great at picking the ball or whatever, a good striker, and you just do it, don't you?
Yeah.
When you come to a boxing gym, like, even you beginners or you keep fitters, you'll learn something every single session. There's something new. And when you've learned that jab, and you've perfected that extension motivation return, and you've got that snap in it, then you learn it step, and you learn it going backwards, and you learn it going forwards, you learn it at a new angle, then you learn how you set it up, and then you learn how you use it to set something else up. It's just one great big Pandora's box of things you can add to it, and nobody's ever completed it. Even Floyd Mayweather, nobody's completed boxing. You can't. It's just levels upon level, and I think it keeps people intrigued.
Yeah,
they're always thinking, and you get to a point, and you got your sparring partner, and you're better than, and you look over. Same thing. Now at that level, and then the work's one again.
Yeah.
So then you work up towards that, and go into another gym because they've got some good lads. And you get beaten, right? Okay. And there's always that sort of that progression line, but it never ends. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that plays something to it. I don't like to just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Being a boxer, people got that soft lad, a bit of a like. Me and Jack have been brought up in very secure, nice families. Yeah, good old, quite liberal-minded. We're not fueled by any of this sort of toxic stuff that goes on in the world. We're very sort of take pictures fine and want to do good things. So boxing is not like a natural thing that you'd attach to it. But I just love it. You get in there, like, you spar and you get hit and you feel the sweat and you can smell the leather and you can feel the punch. It's really not what I'm like day to day. I mean, there's just something about it that just switches you on and excites you.
Unlocks that sort of part of you that you can't channel very often.
Yeah.
And it allows you to channel it, and then it goes back to,
really good going back
again. Yeah. And then, like we were saying about, the kids that don't have that, and then they go and get that release by doing, something a bit more naughty, and then they get in that cycle, and then they end up being that person who you then come and see you because they're on probation, but then finally they found something where, like, I can get that buzz in a controlled and sort of safer environment.
It's quite cathartic too. Like, I think when you go and play football, like, sometimes you can walk away more wound up than you went. Certainly when you go and watch football, you can't. With a little bit of Bolton fan.
Well, yeah.
You can leave a lot more wound up than when you went. It's not always that release that you want it to be. And sometimes you've had session, you can walk away from a boxing gym wound up, but generally speaking, like, you've smashed the bag to pieces for 10 rounds, or your bit part's like, it's gone.
I mean, a bit of football,
and it checks you.
It does, and I feel sort of comparing boxing to rugby. Obviously, rugby is my predominant sport. I love rugby, but the reason I fell out of love with it is because I probably did find my level for other factors. I was pursuing other things, but when I still enjoy boxing just for training of it. I never competed, never did this, never did that. But I got to a point where I was sparring with people, and that buzz you get is the training of boxing is completely different to any other sport I've done, and I've done a few sports. You're there and in it all the time. Like when you play rugby, you put your ball through arms, you might do contact when you get older as well, you might do contact every now and again. And then when the sessions you walk away and you're like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm made for. But, when you're doing drills, when you're doing fitness, and all of that in boxing as well. But I always find that you'd be on the pads, or you'd be drilling, or you'd be like tech sparring and things like that, and you walk away and be like, give me more of that. And that's the sensation that I get when I play rugby.
Yeah.
But when I play rugby, not always necessarily when I've been training, if that makes sense.
One of the good things about the boxing is it's just you. You work at your level too. So I know, again, going back to what I was speaking about earlier on, when I wasn't a particularly good sports person, still not really. I get by now because I'm confident enough to get by, and because I'm fitter. Maybe not so much anymore, but I'm always fitter than your average person because I'm boxing 5 times a week. So, you know, if I was playing football against him, I didn't have to be better than I'd just beat him to the ball.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was, playing tennis, I could get around that court a bit quicker and faster than most people.
Yeah.
Weren't necessarily better than it, but I just was fit enough to be confident. I was confident in it because I was fit.
Yeah.
But with boxing, you're in there, it's just you. You work at your level. I often felt when I did play football and rugby, I felt the eyes of the other 10 people before. I felt an eyes on me, and I did feel a bit like, messed up here.
Yeah.
Miscontrol that boys. Yeah. It probably didn't even happen, but you just that collective thought, and you don't get that in boxing. Like you reflecting yourself, you go, your hands, nobody else did.
Yeah.
Everyone else goes, you know what, this worked well, you did that well. Whereas in football, that collective side, when you mess up, is supposed people off.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that because I think we are quite similar, but we're different as well. You mentioned earlier about, having that bit of a loner sort of mentality initially. And that was the opposite for me. I thought with rugby, I was like, if I'm in a good team and I've got him next to me, I've got him next to me.
Yeah.
I know I can be 2% less or 50% less sometimes. But that was reassuring for me. But in boxing,
there's no chance.
There's no chance, and I didn't have that. And I think that's what I didn't have. I think I didn't have, I couldn't escape my own, not insecurity, but I couldn't escape my own inadequacies, and I couldn't sort of be like...
But you can hide behind another team.
You can, yeah.
To a degree. So that's like the flip side of what I was saying.
Yeah.
You can hide behind them a little bit, and some people make a career out of hiding behind them because they've got such a good team around them, but there's no hiding place in boxing. And I'll be honest, if you put me in yourself, rugby league's a bloody hard game. You've got people anyway, running at you from all angles, at least in boxing, there's one other person, your weight, referee watching you both. Neither are easy sports, but, I don't think there's many hiding places in a rugby field either.
No, but I think it's the mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that is definitely, from my own experience, getting slapped around a few times, you're like, it's me. It is me. I mean, you know what? It's the best character building that I can think of off the top of my head is sparring another person.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, it's primal and it's completely sort of, you have to be on your game one there or the game, or you're going to get it.
We are lads. I'll try and not identify him. We are it's one of our sessions that we do. This lad is not a fearful lad. He's not scared of anything. Like he's not. There's nothing that would bother him at all. He's very confident in himself, and if he had to do something, he could do something.
Yeah.
Also, a lovely bloke, like really pleasant and respectful. But you just know one of them people that you just know. And he's come to me through one of our sessions, and he's not a boxer, and he's really enjoyed it, buzzed off it. So the other week, it was only in terms of sessions, we did a little bit of like control touch sparring.
Yeah.
Like catch jab, forward jab, that sort of stuff. 1, 2, catch and turn, all that. And you could see he just realised, he went, shit.
Yeah.
I said, you're actually good, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I just smiled at him, because like, I'm his coach, he went, it's hard, isn't it? And that was just touch sparring that. When you got somebody in front of you hitting your back, it's really going like again, we're going like down our tangents, but it's good because that's how I think things like the things just come to it. When we do one of that, so our probation boxing session, we use what we call these metaphors for life. So there's certain things in boxing that I think transfer over to real life, and that's probably one of the things that actually resonates people to do it. So, for example, your back's against the ropes. So if your back against the ropes in boxing, that means you're under pressure. And what do? You have to find a way out. You can't give up when you're under pressure. You get up in boxing, you lose and you get knocked out.
Yeah.
We talk about having the right people in the corner. So again, a lot of people think boxing just you against them. But it's not. You've got a team behind you who prepared you, and who will give you advice, and who will wiping your sweat off and giving you water and healing up your cuts. And in boxing, you've got the right corner people, a little bit like Tyson Fury gets too sick. Yeah, we're wrong, his dad in there, giving it all that. I think Chris Eubank with his dad, wrong person sometimes. You have the wrong corner people. You're not going to do as well as you can do. Same in life. If you surround yourself, I remember listening to a speaker, it was brilliant, but you are most likely 3 people you spend most of your time with. If those 3 people are negative, they're not doing the right things, they drag you down, well, that's how you're going to be a product of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you surround yourself with better people, you will elevate yourself. And there's all these things that everyone's a contender. You might not think you've got the skills to be what you need to be, but everyone's a contender. Just start.
Yeah.
Everyone started as a contender, and then they became a sort of champion. That's how you work your way up to champion. Nobody starts as a champion, just start, and then the other one is for you out in the ring.
Yeah.
So it's a saying before you give something a go.
Yeah.
That comes from olden days when it used to be prize fighting like a weekend would come and village centre or something. There'd be and there'd be 2 people fighting, and if they fight until somebody got knocked out, it'd be 12 rounds, between rule. Somebody get knocked out, that's the fight over, you got a champion. Everyone else fall after the ring. Some bloke could pick up an art. If that's your art, you're the next one.
Yeah.
And only by giving things a go can you do well at stuff like if you can. So you're feeling people that go, fuck, can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough for that. I won't be able to do that. Just throw your hat in it, go fail it. Like, get it wrong 5 times. If you've learned 5 ways, it will work. That's 6 on might go one. But if you just never give it a go, then. So these are some of the things we talk about as well in our sessions. It's not about making good bots, but making good people. When they come at the end, this is mainly our probation, our youth offenders ones. We try to impart a little bit of this knowledge so that you've learned your motto, you've learned how to defend a jab, you've learned how to move around, whatever. But this is really what matters today. And we talk about these metaphors for life, and hopefully they can take that out of them.
It's really, you've sort of given the practical element to then transfer into life on again. A lot of people, the way you describe it then, I can think of other metaphors that are sport related, and I bet there's a lot of people that if I said it in the way that I would say it, not the way you say it, they'd be like, fucking stupid that. But you've got a sport perspective.
Yeah.
And people are like,
particularly boxing. Just that sport, it has that thing, doesn't it?
Yeah. So going back to something you mentioned a minute ago, you was on about the fear of getting in and sort of, well, I suppose it's sort of like it's everything, but specifically about boxing. How was that for you? Did you have
as a competitor, as a fighter?
Yeah. So you said that guy didn't have no fear, this, that, and the other, but
as soon as he started having plenty thrown back at him, he was only touchdown, but I think he realised it's not easy to do what I thought I could do. Right, so most of I had 35 fights. Most of mine was as a junior and a couple as a senior. Looking back, fighting as a junior is not as hard as fighting the senior. Fighting the senior really, really solid. Nonetheless, fighting. Yeah. You are 2 lads in a ring, 400 or 500 people watching you. Everyone's got a judgment. It takes some balls. Anybody that gets in there, again, I'm talking about myself here because I've done it. Anybody who gets in there deserves respect, win or lose. So I remember sort of, you go to tell you you've got to fight, it get wrote down on the whiteboard, so you'd be looking at that every time you train. And I was going to train like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, plus going for a long jog as well, a couple of sprints. So 5 or 6 sessions a week of training. Super fit, but you'd work towards that. And then you go up to that sort of week before, and you start getting butterflies, and you start being like, and then that day before, I wouldn't do PA. Yeah, I'm not doing PA. Well, I'm going to fight. Not doing it. Yeah. And I get up, my mum would have made me a tuna pasta, which on reflection was the worst meal I could have eaten like, after wedding, because it was just, you need to eat that like 2 or 3 days of bunny and some jelly babies. Yeah. But we didn't know as much then. Sounds like it was only 15, 20 years ago or whatever. And then I would be proper nervous. I'd be proper nervous because then there's so many things happen. So you get to the venue, you see it, it's empty, so it's like, then you start seeing other boxes turn up, and is that my lad? Is that my lad? And it's a bit big, you can't buy a lad, and then you see the list, and 8th or on 1st or on whatever. Oh, it's an interval before me, I'll never know when the interval's coming to, so I'll be able to overball those things for your head. And then you have to go, wait, this is mad, really. Like, it still happens down at party, but we'd all have to strip down to our boxes and then queue up for like half an hour, and one at a time, we'd have to go and be waved, listen to our chest. Dead important, looking at our eyes, And this is when you can say, I've never been a really defined person, like,
Yeah.
so like, some of these lads were massive and, so you start getting jittery all the way up to walking out.
Yeah.
And as soon as you walk out, just goes.
Yeah.
Something just comes over. It's like a veil just comes over you. You just focus. You're just in that zone. And it's mad. Like, it's one of the best feelings that I've ever had. It's just hyper focus.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of people probably hyper focus on, I'm going to go out there to work. I never really did. I would never really like you. I never switched on like that. I never was my focus. I just wanted to go out and just do my craft well. I just wanted to go out and I never really got hit. I think I was a very good jabber, very good mover. I was good at making people miss. It was very elusive, very slick. And it's just thrived for it. Seeing somebody come up and just mix and mix and mix. And yeah, buzzed off it. But that's probably my downfall as well, with the not being nasty, not wanting to hurt people, because I do genuinely reckon if I had that little bit of extra sort of oomph in me, that bit of nastiness, for want of a better word, I'd have had a really good career.
Yeah.
I never really had that. Like, I lost to some really good fighters who went on to fight for the big sort to fight for world titles. Lost by 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
That's in amateur boxing at the time. It's different rules now. It's a 10-9 system, but that was 1 or 2 clean punches.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'd just stepped it up, if I'd just done that bit more, but that I was only happy to survive, make people miss, just do what I do. And, so I had a good career, but I used to love it. I used to just, and it was mad because if you looked in the room, if you looked in my class on my year, I was the last person, but I was top. I still am. I was top. But get me boxing, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Mad, really strange that you can go from being scared, walking in, don't give a shit.
It's your environment, isn't it? Like, that's where you felt comfortable.
And I think as well, you do.
Yeah.
Like, you've committed, and this is one of the big things you have to do.
Yeah.
Like, you have all these fears, these anxieties, and you can back away if you want. You understand? You can back away from them. But once you're committed, well, it's him or me.
Yeah.
So you've got to do it.
400 people watching you.
You've got to do it.
Yeah. And that, I think,
well, it's fear once you've been in it, so you've got to just do it.
And I think accountability is a massive thing, and for me, it's definitely a massive thing, because if I don't tell people I'm going to do something, likelihood is I'll probably not do it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do this, and someone goes, it doesn't matter. Shit, you can do it now. And I think that is probably where it boils down to. And so going back to probably nearer to the start, you said something about the transition from not being very good to getting very good.
Yeah.
And being looked up to in the gym and things like that. How's that to navigate it? Especially being young and sort of, I watched it. I watched a lot of your fights.
Yeah.
People came to watch you. People enjoyed watching you and stuff like that. You got a reputation of being a boxer. What was that like to change from, being that loner to being on your own, sort of on the outskirts, to being like the fucking guy? You know what I mean? Because there is an element of that. I mean, from what going up, that's definitely how it came across.
There was elements that I was really enjoying, particularly at the age like 16 to 19 when I was going out to socialise. I mean, my dad was always well known English.
Yeah.
These are small towns, so it's not like, sound a bit silly when you say that, but my dad was a really good footballer at his level. And when I used to go out, my dad's generation, I was, if I told them I was Dave Morris's son, people would go, and there was a moment, Gary Worley, the taxi man, lovely bloke, everyone in Leeds knows Gary Worley. And there's a moment when he said to me, "That's your Dave Morris's dad," as opposed to me and my dad were both called Dave Morris.
Yeah.
I got him Dave Morris's son, always. And I got to the point when he was Dave Morris's dad. That makes sense. He was the guy, and I was with him. And then we'd go out drinking, and I became the guy. It's not really that important, but it did make me laugh, that sort of thing. And then we'd be going out, and I'm dead close to my dad, so we'd socialise a lot.
Yeah.
And we'd be going out. And again, it sounds daft now older, like some of these names, these like people I really looked up to, and I probably looked up to them because they were always being hard or feared or whatever, like you do.
It's a big thing where we're from.
Yeah.
To look up to people like, he's the cock of the walk,
Yeah.
he's the hard fucker. He like, what? And it still happens, that.
It's still, like, I'll be honest now, I'm not really as an advocate anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the time,
yeah,
I knew to be people that would then come to me, see me box or been to the gym or do a bit of pants together. So that was certainly a good thing. I've always been, in terms of like being, like I was club captain for a little bit at the ABC. I left there, I went to SAF where I had my best years. And I was the first boxer there, then the first fight. And I always sort of took sessions, elements of sessions, and I was always pushing people and running me, so I won't got down first doing the press ups. But I never really saw it as like there was no swagger attached to me. I think I've always been a responsible person. I've always been that sort of person to draw people with me. I've always been, and that again was probably a detriment to me as a performer, because I think to be a real elite performer, you have to be like super selfish.
Yeah, there has to be a lot of self.
Okay, you get in there, you're in there first. You jump into the ring when it's sparring. You make sure you get the pads. You make sure you win the running. Whereas I used to be like behind people, like lifting me up and pushing them, and like I was that sort of guy. So I was probably made to be a coach rather than a performer. My PT should probably run it. Probably do something I wasn't made to admit, but I was probably made to be a coach. And I think the absolute need to be a performer, obviously I have the skill, but in terms of like the personality traits, the character, that wasn't my thing. I wasn't selfish. I wasn't overly aggressive. I didn't have that nastiness. So I was definitely more suited to coaching people and developing people, bringing other people up. And I think it probably put me in good stead being looked up to, because it gave me a voice. It meant people had to listen to me. When I then decided to make that transition, people had to listen to me.
Yeah.
And there's loads of people do the coaching practice when they finish, but without being rude, they were shit. And like nobody really looked up to them. They don't carry out credibility as much. Now that's a bit rude, because you can have loads of quality coaching, work good performers. But I think it gave me an easy step up to it, give me a platform, because everyone knew me as that decent boxer.
It's a natural transition. And obviously, apart from the PE teacher sort of saying what he said, something I like to ask people when they get into it's clearly the passion. You must hear that talking. I know it is anyway, outside of it. But was there an epiphany? Was there that moment where it was like, right, it's time to put the gloves down, which I imagine is a very hard decision, which you can talk about, which I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
And then be like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
So, right, we'll go back to like me being 14, 15. So I used to box at the ABC. My dad's mate set it up. A couple of new coaches came in. They changed hands. I was always one of the better boxers. But the way it was set up, it didn't lend itself to me. It was very much a macho sort of place. Kind of a toxic environment. Now, anybody who knows the ABC now will know that they're doing some really good stuff. They've got some really good boxers. But at that time, I felt like the atmosphere wasn't quite right for me. So I decided to leave. It wasn't taken very well. It was a little bit of... I was only 15 when I left, and the coach was all the supportive. He was, clearly pissed off about it, and let me know that too.
Yeah.
Which only kind of validated my decision, because I thought, well, you should be saying that, thanks for your time, and I understand there's anything I can do. But I didn't get that. So I made a decision to go, and we went to Astley, and I did a good few years there. I was training with the pro, I'd been a pro camp there, and I was training with the pro. I was asked to come down and do some Terry Flanagan and Carl Place, and there was loads that we trained with. That was brilliant. And then went to university. And in university, my first year, I decided to stay home. I wanted to carry on boxing with my passion. But, and I had a fantastic year that year. I boxed Jimmy Kelly, who boxed a couple of world titles still. He beat me by 2 points, but we had a decent fight. I went to the university championships and got a silver medal. And a really good year. But then I just felt like I was missing out. I was like 18, 19. I was making new friends, was drinking, was partying. there was girls, there was like, it was
Yeah.
an exciting time. So I made the difficult decision. I said, obviously, next 2 years, I'm going to go and enjoy university. I'll still try and get back to the weekends and stuff. I'll be part of the team. But
Yeah.
not fine. So I went and lived in and I absolutely loved it. Like, I've got no regrets. I said that, I'll probably have got a few regrets. Like, it was the right decision in my life. I really, really enjoyed that time at university. And then when university finished, I decided, in fact, at that period of time, I went to live in London. But it's funny. Maybe this is me just being a bit self-loving. Maybe you can resonate. Maybe you can tell me, shut up there. I don't know. But I think, and it comes from my dad. When I used to go out around Lee, everyone obviously Dave Morrison football with my dad. And I think, even though you don't play football anymore, you're always a footballer.
Yeah.
If you played football, I keep going back to football because that was my dad's sport, and it's probably what I enjoy the most. You're always a footballer. If you don't actually box, I don't think you're a boxer anymore. You're somebody who used to box.
Yeah.
You'll talk like, oh, that guy used to box.
Yeah.
But you never talk about his football. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit. So when I quit boxing, my whole identity was Dave the boxer, Dave Morris the boxer. And then I quit, and it just felt like a big loss. And I can really, really understand. I was lucky, I didn't go down any of these paths. But I can understand Ricky Atherton, Joe Falzagin, Tyson, the depression, the drugs, the drinking, the chasing that excitement, because there's nothing gives you a buzz like winning a box. Even not winning, having a fight, having a boxing match, nothing gives you a buzz. So I definitely felt a sense of, who am I?
Yeah.
What am I? And that sort of went, it gradually disappeared, but for a period of time, that's how I felt about it. I was a little bit in between state.
Yeah.
So then university finished, and I went back to the boxing gym, asked the VIP. I said, right, I'm back in now. I'm training. It was in fact, that's the doors, because I put a bit of weight on the yeah. Oh, and I was sick every single session. The picture's still on the website. I think it is still up on the website. Of me just spewing up. But that's the VIP rate on the back. I just couldn't get fitness back again.
Yeah.
And I probably didn't give it long enough, but it just didn't feel easy. Every pre-season, I used to just blitz it. I had a blowout in summer, even like from age 14.
Yeah.
I'd go out and have a bit of a blowout because I trained hard.
Yeah.
Sort of autumn, winter, spring, I trained hard before the summer come, off-season. I go and have a blowout, and you always come back a bit heavier. Even as a kid, I probably drank a bit more than I should have done. It was hard, never that hard.
Yeah.
And I remember probably did about 3 weeks, and I just thought, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult to go to the office, and I said to Dave, I don't think I'm going to be able to box. I just can't get fit. And he just said, I understand. Just shut me up and said, I understand. He said, do you still want to be around though? Would love you to join the coaching team. So brilliant. And that was the complete opposite. So it was. I'm very bad. This time I was 21 here now. When I was at the ABC as a 15-year-old, it was like that, fuck off them.
Yeah.
That was the response I got as a 15-year-old head coach. David went, oh, wait, you got 35 fights.
Yeah.
You've had a good time, get it. Whatever you want to, you can't, but I get it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your coaching badges? So he put me through my level 1 and level 2, he paid for them both. And I loved it. I went down to the boat on a Monday night. I did all the junior sessions, and then just before COVID came, I said, right, I'll do senior ones as well. You have Monday off completely, Dave. Obviously, I have 3 kids at this point. You have Monday off completely. I'll open the gym. I'll do the juniors and then the seniors. You have a night to yourself. And then COVID came. And at this time, I was tough week because my mum had cancer, and shortly after my dad got diagnosed with cancer. So we were like very vigilant about COVID.
Yeah.
Looking back, I don't want to turn it into a discussion about COVID and rights and wrongs. Want to respond as strongly than they do last time and kind of follow rules as much as they do? Probably not. But at that time, masks, social distancing, washing hands, not being face to face, I was all for it because I wanted to protect parents.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, I was in contact with a lot of people who pass it on. So I made a decision, and I was probably the one that pushed their coach over the line. I said, can't come.
Yeah.
I still want to be able to see them all. I can't do that to people. So eventually, not long after me saying that, the boxing club went into close down for COVID. And then it never opened again. It shut down. Like Damien realised that the more to life. Like, since he was the age of 12, he'd been in boxing gyms.
Yeah.
A phenomenal contribution to boxing. Literally trained thousands of young people, probably saved loads of lives, and indirectly it's phenomenal. But I think in real life, walks apart, spend time with the kids in the evening. So it never opens. So I had some time for some free time. There's loads around us. It was sort of a perfect storm. So the first thing was I had this free time. But I never initially thought with this free time I'm going to open or start boxing for better. The second thing was there was a murder in Leigh. A lad got killed by 3 teenagers. 2 of them were the age of 18, so they've never been named. Now, in fact, they did get named, it got released. It did come out. I think there was one in France where it got released. This bloke it was an horrific murder.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Now, I was teaching a sibling of one of the people that committed that crime. I just thought, it's a slippery slope. If somebody don't catch this one, there's potential to go down the same route.
Yeah.
Now, I've never engaged this kid. I think they've moved out to the area. I don't know much about them now. But I just thought there's loads of kids like that. Shit families.
One bad decision of it.
I don't think this was one bad. Well, one bad decision may have ruined life.
Yeah.
But this wasn't one bad decision. This was a lifetime of bad decisions, probably informed by poor parenting, toxic environments. It just felt like this was all too prevalent. I have 3 young children, and I just thought something's going to be done. Now, it's no silver bullet, but I just said, you know what, we'll set something up. Local police officer, Andy Parkinson, put me in touch with some council people. We got a bit of funding, and we set up boxing better at Painfolds. It was going to be a 6-week session. Kids come down for free, we train them. That was it. That was all. Over summer, that was it. 3.5 years later, I'm still going every single week, but I still get about 30 kids, and then Flatbridge boxing opens and Sheffield boxing opens, and I'm right across the river in Wigan, doing 3 boxing sessions for kids, and then it's just snowballed. So they were like the main things that sort of got me to do with box betting. We are now a not-for-profit, so all the money goes back into it. With non-contact, so with no pathway to performance, we're not about elitism. We deliberately target hard-to-reach people, so youth offenders, people who are not in school, people from hard-to-reach areas, people with disabilities, people who come out of jail. They're all the people we work with. I think, as a result of having the experience I had at the ABC, where I saw what a toxic environment felt like, and it made me feel as a performer, not wanting to, not enjoying it, feeling bullied and feeling the response and experience I had at ASVIP, when the decision was supported and the feelings were validated and my opinions were listened to. And then just timing, thinking just the world happening, COVID and a horrible murder, and me feeling sort of attached to it because I knew this young person who was related to it, and just having 3 young kids and feeling more responsible for society than I've done in the past. And so that's where it came from. It was just a bit of a perfect storm. Lots of things happened. I went, now's the time to go and do it. So set it up as a hobby.
Yeah.
And then obviously as it snowballed, it's now become a full-time job. So I love it. I'm lucky as well because I love doing what I do. It's brilliant.
And that's so important, isn't it? Finding, I think people, unfortunately, go through life, and a book I read the other week, it was talking about people dedicate their lives to things for the wrong reasons. So, there's principles that say there's 8 facets of wealth. It's not just money. There's other, and one that I'll touch on in a minute just because it resonated with me, what you said, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. But, some people go all life chasing something, get to the top of the mountain and you go, fuck, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
And then you just God, we're not obviously getting too philosophical and stuff.
But it's so hard to get off as well, because the thing you're chasing is that $100,000 paycheck, or that, that big company car. How do you climb down from that? How do you then live on, average salary and basic car and salary?
If you don't have these other things, so if you have one of the things that is in this principle of the 8 sort of things of wealth is service. And I imagine that you must feel pretty sort of wealthy in that regard because you're giving these back to these people. And obviously not being too stoic into it, but is that the thing? Is that what it is? Is it the seeing the change in people and that feeling.
Yeah, and do you know what? Selfish. I thrive off that a little bit. Like it sounds really. So when you say it like this, like so, if you was like Mike Tyson, famously, like he thrives. I'm putting I'm paraphrasing it, but like he wants me to hit somebody's ball the nose into the skull like he thrives, and it's sort of sick and twisted when you thrive off something that you can get from doing something to somebody else. I really thrive off the feeling that I get. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Well, it turns out to be good. The product is a good thing, but I don't know if the motives are necessarily as like selfless as maybe people first perceive. I really get a proper internal buzz. Like I feel really good when I support a group of adults living with disabilities, or when I've got some young people that just don't know how to get on the right path, and we get on there through our boxing sessions. Like I thrive with it, and I thrive with it for loads of reasons. Like I love that we're the ones making a change. I love that I know my mum will be absolutely buzzing knowing that we're doing this. Like there's loads of selfish personal reasons that make me buzz off it. It's not just because I necessarily want to make that person's life better. Like I actually, and maybe I'm being a bit harsh on myself here, but I get proper sense of like, I love it. I think it's really good what we're doing. And everyone says it's really good, and I feel really good about that. But that's not the thing. It's like, we're just on a session now, just had like 25 kids from a Cubs group that I've never met before. And they're absolutely buzzing. I know all the staff, and their staff's fantastic. I know they look at me going, he's class for these kids. Like, he's got 25 kids, he sends his hands, all strength, all training, nobody's answering back. And I buzz up people knowing I can do that.
Yeah.
And it probably sounds a little bit odd, that. Like, but that's one of the motivating things. That's what I'm good at. Well, some people probably buzz off commission.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That is, some people buzz off trophies and medals, and that's fine. But I buzz off that knowledge. I'm just really good at what I do, and I know people know it, and it's, I don't know, saying that out loud probably sounds a little bit like self-serving.
I don't think it is, because I think you've got to have, if you was doing something that I'm not going to smoke your ass, but if you was doing something,
You can't.
stop it. Yeah. If you was doing something that made you feel shit, and it was whack when you turned up every day and like, oh, why am I doing this? That product, what you're now delivering, you could never deliver.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that buzz, what then probably takes you that 10% higher to have a meeting at your hand. Do you know what I mean? And I think people sort of go, oh, it's a bit, I do it, and I think it's a bit like that. It's a bit selfish, because we don't want, as human beings, some people do, don't get me wrong, we don't want to be seen as egotistical, narcissistic, selfish. They are negative things, don't get me wrong, but
they're also drivers, aren't they?
yeah. And if you feel good, why the fuck is it a bad thing? And I think it's self-care, isn't it? And I think what you do it, like, I'm not putting words in your mouth, Fridays, but I imagine you're motivated every day to go.
I am. Like, listen, I'm not going to watch on here, but I do like 23,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a major problem with my weight. I eat really bad food at the moment, which I know you're going to pull me up on this. Probably a year conversation with you, because I'm always on the go. But I burn so many calories in a day, I'm absolutely exhausted. Yeah, sometimes I shower for a single day. You always come home and just fly around the couch. I don't. She's not for so sexy. I come home and I'm knackered. Like, and I shouldn't be knackered, because I'm doing probably like most people in, can I get 10,000 steps in a day? And I think,
I think that, because I've got an office-based job.
yeah, and I think like Michelle, my wife's an accountant, she's lucky if she's done like 4,000 or 5,000 steps. She has to go out and do something.
Yeah.
I do 23,000 just because that's my job.
Yeah.
I literally don't sit down all day. I don't feel the tiredness, because I'm buzzing. Like, literally, I can't help but have to do it work. Like, I'm useless at that. I'm the worst admin person. I've got invoice that I need to send that I've not sent, and I've got the stuff I need to. I'm a terrible start to finish with that sort of stuff. But like, I go back to that session. I'm just buzzing. I do love it.
That
Doesn't take me out, because it feeds me.
and the admin stuff doesn't give you the buzz that this does. So that again, that's what, imagine shoes on in for fucking love admin. I mean, if you love admin, fair play. But like, if you love admin, you like get up, you do sit on it. Yeah, you stick at admin, wouldn't you? And you're like, oh my god, I've got a talk in front of 200 people today. where I'm going to have like, you know, I'm going to have to captivate the room.
Yeah.
Did people be shitting themselves?
Another thing I find, if I'm not especially good at it, like I put myself in a tough situation where I've had to public speak, and I'm not especially good at it. I'm not bad at it, but I'm not especially good at it, but I like it. And I think I've got that mindset as well. And you'll probably will pick it. I can't answer that now where it's coming from, but I've got that mindset where I could probably tell you where it's coming from. That's it. If I'm not good at something, I don't back away from it. I put myself into situations that make me good at it.
Yeah.
Like I will volunteer to do something that I'm not good at. Don't get me wrong, I still get the jitters and butterflies and get nervous and, you know, doubt myself. But I want to improve regularly. I'm always trying to improve. So I do put myself in situations where I'm not comfortable. And I think that's one of the main things you can do to do well at life. Take yourself outside that comfort zone.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's a quote.
Is that Wim Hof? I'll admit, I'll just assign it to him.
That's the Churchillian drift. That every good quote is always referred back to Churchill. Apparently.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little caveat for you. But there's this guy who's like life. I'm not going to try and say his name, so I'll probably get it wrong. But it was life begins on the edge of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same as you. Like my relationship with progress is probably negative, but it's positive because I progress. So like I'm very hard on myself. I always want to progress and I always want to be better, and that in itself is probably negative. The relationship I have with it, I'm probably too hard on myself. I probably expect too much progress too quick when really I should be like, you've done this well, you've done that well, done this well. So I have quite a paradoxical relationship with progress. Where, you know,
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
But I think there's process and products, isn't there? I think too many people sort of don't pay enough attention to the process. And the process, when you want to do something well, is fucking getting it wrong lots of times. Plus,
failure is the best teacher.
And if you're not moved and bothered and motivated by that failure, and you're not hard on yourself, you probably won't reach that goal that you want, like you should be capable of doing.
Yeah.
So although, you know, you say it's a negative thing, it's probably a necessary thing.
Yeah.
You only get, I bet there's one or two that define this sort of idea, but you only get good at it by being bothered about how bad you was, sort of thing.
Yeah, and then taking the lessons from that failure to then be like, right, okay, I went in and sparred with that guy. And every time I went to throw my left up, my right hand was down, so he checked me. And I got a black eye. Next time, I'll go in and make sure my hand's up.
Yeah.
And that's
especially I know that when I'm dating inside a dating my coach, he's also one of our directors and a great guy. And it probably won't turn it to say shut up, Moggy, but I used to get in the ring after sparring, and the first thing I'd say, go back and say, what they do well, what they do bad, tell me.
Yeah.
I want to know. Whereas most other people, not most other people, so like some of the people would go smashing. But even I didn't smash most people. One or two of them would listen to this and shut up, Moggy, because I'm battered you towards the end, maybe. But through my career, I always met most people that I came across. But it never was the thing that motivated me. It was right, what to do next time. That's why we started. That's why we started things up. And you're like, I know that's why we started things up, and that's why we're go-getters and achieving things that are a little bit wacky and out there. And like, I know people look at me and go, what are you doing? How do you make a living? How can you do that? And like, so I'm making a living because you're constantly chasing grant funding and thinking new ideas and finding creative ways you can profit off something. And, but, you know, set up a lottery, do a last man standing with. I'm up till midnight writing grants all the time. Most people just think, sometimes I wish I did have, but 99% of the time, I thrive and I buzz up it. But if you didn't have that relationship with success, where you beat yourself up when things don't go, this wouldn't succeed.
Yeah.
I've got to be really, really clear on what's not going right, so I can make it right, so I can be successful. So I think being harsh on yourself, that negative thing is making.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's sort of like something that I'm trying to get across when I'm doing this is I'm not a self-help guru. Like, I want to try and... The reason I'm doing this is service. I want to try and... I was in a bad place. once. Like, I trained you, you've seen me.
Yeah.
That's not the person I am now. And like, if I can help one person avoid that, like, well, for me, well, it's the lowest I've been, honestly. Your problems are your problems. So
Relative to that.
yeah, they're only relative to you. People have much worse situations. Yeah, but for me,
If it's in your head, it's in your head. Isn't it?
exactly, that was my lowest point. So like to then do this and speak to people like yourself, you know, and other people, and then do the book and write a weekly newsletter, and just hope that one person can take something from it. That's what this is. Obviously, the financial element of that, which there isn't any. But if
That's also what I mean.
that's nice, but it's not.
Yeah, that talks like I never thought boxing would provide me with a job, and then I thought I could turn it into a career. But eventually, I think once you get credibility, excuse me, once you get credibility, I think once you get credibility behind what you're doing,
Yeah.
people believe you, they want your service. You know, and even if your service becomes price-like, I love people's. If you're worth that, because people believe you worth it, and you are, because you've done what you've done, it does come. But with things like this, that has to start with passion.
Yeah.
And you're, you know, months and months and months, if not years, of like the financial thing really not part of it. And
Yeah.
we're still at a point where the financial, I still have to do other jobs to be able to pay my you know, boxing better doesn't fully cover me yet.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I believe that what this will do. I reckon we'll be doing what we do worldwide. You know, there'll be countries in Southeast Asia, in Africa, in South America, in boomers in North America that, you know, I reckon we're going to create a blueprint at some point that can be given to other people to go and copy. That's the end goal.
And that's important to have.
It starts with just that. Then for me, I'm excited like my full boxing session, committed to them for 6 weeks, and then, you know, it's snowballing. And one of the things we taught at uni, the best thing you can be when you're training to be a PE teacher, but it probably applies to everything, is a reflective practitioner. Reflect on yourself. You know, you deliver that, you plan a great session. So you'll have done this when you've done like PT or whatever it is. You plan a great session. You get in there, you know exactly what's going to happen, what you're going to teach. And then it goes to shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, you spent ages on that. It was perfect progression at the right time, right man into this, right man into that. And it goes to shit. And it went to shit because he was in a bad mood, or 2 or 3 kids. No, at the breakfast. There's a million different factors. Or when you put the cones out, it's a multicoloured line, having a red lines. When you take it off that line, you'll do what line they're into. Like I said, if you put them out as red, you can take off to the red line. There's loads of different small things that you can always improve on. You only know about them, you only realise if you reflect on what you have been doing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main things I do. I'll sit and talk to Sean about it. I've got another couple of people that sort of support me with my part of the business, but just do it because they like what we do. So I'm having regular conversations with them. And I just vent and they go, okay, let's unpick this.
Yeah.
Do that with this, do that with them. Change what you're doing there. And that reflects on the ground and just go, of course I'll work. I'm Dave Morris, we're boxing better. You've got to reflect, so you've got to be critical of yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah. So, segueing perfectly, because you just mentioned one thing that, you know, is in your ethos, your routine. What are the 3 habits and routines that you would, you know, advise to someone like the probation or the training or the parent who wants to get the kid? You know, what are them habits that you say, look, if they want to do this and they want to improve, or just a day-to-day person, what are the 3 that come to your mind that are just non-negotiable?
Yeah, my life's that hectic. I wish I had like 3 actual things. So like, okay, there's no violin being played, but 3 young children recently moved house, you know, 2 or 3 years out of COVID, which is when this started. I think the very, very, very honest answer is I'm still trying to nail them down. You know, I'm that guy who's frustrated that I want to be able to eat healthy, go to the gym, read more books, be organised with my admin, deliver my sessions, and have everything written out so it's as a manual so it's transferable to anybody. And literally, business life, it just isn't working like that yet.
Yeah.
Now it has to do at some point, otherwise I can't step back. I've got to get it all so everything's in order. So, right, I should go to bed earlier, probably midnight when I go to bed most nights, which then means I wake up later. should do a jog a couple of times a week, which I'm not doing.
What you think? So,
Yeah, I've not started training yet. I'm just going to do that pure grit and muscle memory, I think. But there are things that I want to implement. So a few of the books that I've read, and it's not because they're necessarily aligned on, but just read that sort of I get most information from. The very first self-help book, whatever you call it, was the 4 Hour Work Week. Have you read that, Tim?
I've read.
Oh, loved it.
I really resonated with it until probably the last 20%.
Well, you know what? It's funny you said that because I think I've only got like 50% of the way through it.
When it sort of goes to the blueprint that Tim Ferriss is offering you, I sort of checked out at that point. But initially, it's a great book and it's one that I did enjoy.
So, the things that I stick to, I stay true to myself. So I'll be back into recently, and this isn't necessarily related to business, but time. Okay, recently I have to step back from the WhatsApp group. There's a lot of tension in Great Britain at the moment. I don't think it's Great Britain, it's England. And there's a lot of views, everyone's got an opinion, and some of the opinions being shared I don't align with me. And I have to take a step back. Now, I think a lot of my friends share the same views. I think a lot don't. But everyone else just kind of goes with the flow because I can't. So when it comes to like what I want to do with boxing better, I know what I want to do. I want to work with vulnerable people. I want to work with the criminal justice system and get people on the right track. I want to work with people that have got disabilities. So I stay true to them and I'm constantly having a way at them. I'm constantly trying to like, right, what's the next bid? Who's the next person to speak to? What's the next contact we can make? So that's one of the things I do. Whereas I think other people in business sort of, you have to do a bit of this because you have to make sure your business sustainable. Kind of go, where's the money? And then I've seen like loads of training companies or loads of like education companies or loads of people that kind of profess to make the same outcomes and change we do. Really, they just chase them out from funding and stuff like that. So our ethos is our ethos and we stay true to that. Second thing is I just throw my hat in the ring. I give things a go. So if I know that I want to do something, and I've had it loads of times, people just sneak around, just disagree, tell you, I just give it a go. And usually it works. Usually I figure out a way of making it work. And then the last one is, these are all a bit soft, these. They're probably not the ones that you used to. I make time for my family. And it's at the detriment of my sleep and my business. I never want to be, and I don't really be doing what I do, I never want to be that busy fool, even if I'm making millions of pounds, who doesn't get to sit and spend time with my kids. I've got 3 wonderful kids, I've got a great family. I never ever want to be that guy who kind of misses out on that. So I go home at 4:30, even though I've got work to do. I go home at 4:30. People are going to think, there'll be other people that you've spoken to that run businesses or that you can't say.
It's funny you say that though, because the guy that I had on last week, Richard Hornsey, is the top of the game in his field. And he was saying he wished he did more of what you just said.
Well, I think when I'm on the deathbed, what I'm going to be more bothered about. I've done enough good things in boxing better for it to matter. But it's not really £1 million business.
Not the detriment of other things.
I want to be at home with kids. I love it. I went blackberry picking last night. So yeah, they're probably very fair, and it's probably going to be these are nails in the coffin of me never being a millionaire. But I will always enjoy work-life balance. I'll always be true to what I want to do. So that feeling of service and that feeling of do what I want to do, I'll probably always retain. Because I'm not going to get swayed by. Somebody says, right, there's a £10 million contract to come and deliver boxing sessions to ex-bus drivers. I'll do that for half a day a week. We can afford that. But generally speaking, I'm sticking to what I want to do. That's young people who are vulnerable. That's adults who've got disability, and that's people involved in the criminal justice system. I want to get rid of. I'm not going to get rid of it, but I want to see an end to knife and drug crime. I want to see an end to young people missing out because of the circumstances they're born into. And I want to see disabled people have parity, like the same sort of level of. They're never going to achieve equality of outcome, but I want them to have equality of opportunity. I want them to have the same opportunity and and I'll probably make it is that maybe they will achieve quality of outcome, but quality of opportunity I think is necessary for you to understand opportunity to do things. So yeah, they're sort of my guiding principles, not the routines. Bit of cold water therapy in there I can fit it to.
How's that going?
Stopped.
It's great.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know, I get really frustrated. I beat myself up. I read and I listen. And I just think, gee, guys, are you telling me the truth? You do your job a day, you get up at 6, you're reading 20 books a year, you're streamlining your work, so you won't look at your emails once a week. I don't know, mate. I'm this all the time. Mark's doing this. I don't know. Maybe I probably need to work on that a little bit. But I just also think reality is you just will be busy all the time.
Constant, and it's, you know, if you put more plates in the equation to spin, you've got more chance of more falling, and you've got to sort of pick. You cross the bar, said it before, you've got to pick it, stick with it, and just hope it's the right mountain you climb.
There is what we again work-wise. We work with lots of different groups. We did some work at a hotel in my town, 3 days. People are in emergency accommodation. So these people all walks like, some had come from different countries, but the majority were families that had, for one reason or another, become homeless. So you lost the job, critical illness, so we're no longer working, victims of domestic abuse or violence, had to leave the house, not enough housing stock to put them anywhere. So council put them in a hotel. And all these children in these hotels are entitled to the e-vouchers that get you a free holiday club place at some of the holiday clubs that we give and other people do. But the children from these hotels were attending them. Obvious reasons, probably not a car, can't afford to get there, won't have access to the internet, blah, 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 all those things. So the council asked me to go and deliver these sessions at the hotel. It was brilliant. We had the bingo, we brought in hot foot Christmas meal, we did loads of stuff. We were playing board games, everything. We had quiz days. Really good, really good stuff, but also really haunted me. Because the things I saw, the things that I know other people are experiencing and that they've got very little control over, really sort of. So, lots of conversations with people in my team, lots of conversations with people in the council. I felt like I needed to do something about this. And then it became very apparent that there was just bigger issues that was at play. That meant basically what I wanted was go in once a week and do something that lifted the spirits. Sport, quiz night, movie night, something. My idea was a rising tide lifts all ships. So if I go in there and they have that one great night, they'll get all the feel good factor of that. And then so tomorrow they might get that one phone call they need to, and they'll just take one extra step further as opposed to feeling apathetic about stuff. That was my vision. And I think I'm right in some senses. I literally had a chat from the council. It doesn't matter if we've not got the housing stock. We've got more people that want places and don't want. The price of private rental is too high, so the benefits don't for it. Like, even if they do make them phone calls and get themselves more points, there's no spot. You're stuck here. So it really troubled me that, because that's kind of like the young people there was the main driver. The vulnerable young people there. I just knew we would make an impact. They'd feel better for an hour a week. But in terms of where do I focus that time, the disability boxing sessions, the community boxing sessions, the probation, the schools, that would have been another sort of evening a week where I was going out to manage teams of volunteers and get resources ready and spend money on that. That would have meant we could spend money on other programs.
I think it's your core values.
That's a back way, because it wasn't you can't solve everything.
No.
You can't solve everything. If you try and solve everything, you'll solve nothing.
The man chases 2 rabbits catching one.
And I'm guilty of that. I think I see a phone. I think that. The current tensions, I've been sending WhatsApp messages and Instagram messages to friends that I've got that from different cultures. So actually, we get together, we have a chat. Let's show them cohesion. And in reality, well, a few of us listen. No, it's not the time. Too many people, too much to say. We're probably not going to. And I've realised you back off on that, because there's bigger things at play and I've not solved it yet. So that's one of the biggest challenges, knowing what is my forte and what the rest are doing. It's hard. Like, it is hard because the reason why Not Supposed to Exist is emotional and sort of it's applied to make people do better in life. And there's loads of different sections, but what is it? The dog who chases two rabbits.
Yeah, that's right.
Chases
Two rabbits patches now.
Yeah, I'm a bit guilty becoming that and a busy fool, you know, not actually achieving anything.
And that's where things like self-reflection are massive, to sort of have that out-of-body experience in a way and like put a break on
Yeah,
a little bit. Before we go, one more question.
yes.
One habit of where I think I'm gonna guess where you might go, but one habit or routine that you've done in the past or haven't done that you'd like to incorporate back into your life or incorporate into your life.
Absolutely love the cold water, mate. You just want it. So at Christmas time, I had cold water, but I don't think, listen, I don't think for months. I don't think for months. I thought, Christmas, probably the worst time to start it.
Yeah.
Got it out, I filled it up, and the first time I went into the shitty, I got out. And then right, today's the end. Got in, I sat down. I got in, I was just on fire.
Yeah.
And I came in, I was just buzzing. So I did it for about 2 or 3 weeks. I did it. Probably some videos of doing it.
Yeah.
What's not it? Woodward was doing it. He was doing it. And then it just got a bit grimy.
Yeah.
So I emptied it, I filled it up and I did it again. And then
The weather changes, it is, especially when it's like one of them stuff.
it was easiest when at Christmas. I was off.
Yeah.
Working hard. And as soon as it came back to the work, I didn't have that time.
Yeah.
And that is my main issue now. Finding time. And it's chicken and egg. Right? By finding time to do these things that I know I need and want to do,
Yeah.
I will be more productive and create better use of the time forward. But I can't find the time to do the things that are going to create the time, if that makes sense. So, yeah. But short answer, that cold water is absolutely is something else.
I love that, and I've loved the chat, Matt. It's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. But before we go, let people know where they can find you. So
Brilliant, yeah. So yeah, I'll just quickly say I'm enjoying it too. I'm very proud of what you're doing, mate.
Thank you very much.
I watch your journey. You know, I know we don't see each other that much, but I watch what you do, and that's brilliant. What you're doing, so good man, keep it going. Right, Boxing for Better. We exist in Wigginborough and spread across Greater Manchester. Find us on all socials. Just type in @Boxing for Better, and it's FOR, not the number 4. And then our website, www.boxingforbetter.co.uk.
And I'll put all them in the description so you can check it out. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ben. That's all.